this is what's happening. The horse goes backwards and it shifts out over the hip. So if I'm going to ride a left turn and I pull on that left rein, my horse is going to turn like this. Yeah, it's never going to follow the flow. Remember, your reins are only like 3% of your riding. So make these 3% count the right way. We're right back to the principle. We're trying to eliminate as many mistakes as we can do where horses, by birth, are designed not to be pulled around. So, how old is he now? In his teens. Let's call him 13. Okay, because that's like right in the beginning of the teens. Maybe it makes him feel better if he's like 15 and I said 13, you know. So, let's say he was 13 years, 12 years ago when he was in the field with his mom and he was annoying the living daylights out of the mare. What she did was she turned into him and said, "Get away from me." Yeah? Horses are designed that way. So if I ask him to move to the left, and I grab a little bit of the neck here, and I want him to move to the left, he is bracing against it with all he has. But if I ask him to move to the right, instead of pulling to the right, I just push him to the right, it's a much easier outcome. So, knowing that, why would you try to pull your horse around a turn? That way, he has never been taught that way. And if, let's say, the horse got educated in bad hands and they always did that, it still works against his natural biomechanics, the way his body works. So, if I want this horse to move around a turn, we have two reins. We have the inside rein, we have the outside rein. The inside rein is always your asking rein. It is never the pulling rein or the dominant rein. If you pull on this side, I'm going to shorten the stride, I'm going to make my horse skew. But if I want him to move to the left and I open my inside rein, I can do that with one finger on the rein, and the horse keeps stepping right into his footprints without moving the hip out. So, your strongest rein, and any Western rider will confirm that, is always your outside rein. If you guys have time and you go to Carlton or Pat's presentation, usually they ride with one hand. They have the other hand either on the gun or on the whiskey or on the whip. But if they want to move to the left, they move this way. If they want to move to the right, they move this way. Automatically your outside rein becomes the neck rein and pushes the horse over. The inside rein is a very friendly asking rein. The right rein is the telling rein. Yeah? So, I want you guys to come up to this little cross rail off the left, and I don't want you guys to go all the way around, okay? I want you at least move in front of that oxer and then take a little bit of a shorter approach to this cross rail. Open your inside rein, push him around with the outside until you have a straight approach. As soon as you have this jump straight in front of you, both hands and both legs connect with your horse. Because only a pushing leg creates a straight horse. Your hand will never create a straight horse. You only can push your horse into straightness. You will never be able to pull them into straightness. I'm going to be on that side, and I'm going to try to determine how straight you guys are, okay? And there's where you already open that inside rein. Ooh, good base, do we? Okay. center. So, remember, just take a little breather. Helium, just take a little breather. So, great inside hand. And he immediately took that turn without ever fiddling in his pride or going against the bit, right? He just followed that lead and was totally happy doing that. You can do that on a big turn, on a small turn, on a tiny rollback, in a jump off. What you want to do there is when you feel him turning early, remember the body balance that we're having. If you turn to the left and you feel him dipping that shoulder in early and trying to rush that turn, that's when you step really heavy into your outside stirrup. You step into your outside stirrup to counteract him being off balance to the inside, and then you just open that inside rein, let him follow that rein, friendly, but be dominant with your outside. Yeah? Okay, same for you. Yeah, just take a little break with Stewie. And just remember, with helium, your number one priority is a nice, confident, forward-moving horse. Have a nice rhythm right there. Already look where you're going. Already look where you're going. Nice and straight. Good boy. And you got to tell him good boy, huh? So, the way you started correcting when you felt that he was moving too hard to one side was really good. You opened that rein. You didn't try to pull him into that direction. That was the right decision that you made there. That was really good. So when he started like feeling like he would shift too much to the left on that X-rail, instead of trying to pull him back to the middle of it, she just opened that hand and allowed him to move into that direction. That was really good. Okay, Stewie, one more time. Just remember, if you feel him turning too early, you put way more weight into your outside stirrup, okay? Keep the rhythm, don't go too slow on that part there. And now open and step outside, 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 outside. Good. He knows his job. Okay, much better. And just remember, it's easy to shift your weight. It's so easy. It's harder to work this much. It's easier to just say like, okay, I'm here. That's it. You know, and at that point your horse is like, oh, she's over there, and I'm moving that way. Yeah? Okay, we're going to try to go into the harder part now. This will be the perfect setup for tomorrow. No matter what your horse is, if it's a fast horse, if it's a slow horse, a small horse, a big horse, all of them need rhythm and straightness. Every horse in a free jump chute has rhythm coming out of that turn, and they're straight as an arrow. You will never see a horse in a free jump chute jumping like this. Totally unnatural. So where you want to be as natural with our riding to complement our horse. When we're coming into that exercise now, it's the same principle. You keep that rhythm around the turn. You don't want to block your horse's stride with your hand. You want to encourage it with leg and a soft inner hand. Once you are on the straight line, what you're trying to achieve is you want to look down from your horse's withers along the neck through the top of their ears. If that is a straight line, you want to have that exercise right in the middle of their ears. If you don't see it, you're either off center or you have a kink in your horse's neck. And that also tells you, if I can't see it, my horse is not straight. Yeah? Let's pick up the canter of the right and come over these two triangles going this way. Straight approach and straight departure, please. Little bit more rhythm. You're going to get time faults like that. Look where you're going. Okay, rhythm was good. He didn't have a problem getting to the middle. He just stepped right here on this pole, right at this position. That tells me the way you came in, your horse was more to the left than it was on the center. The next time I'm going to be standing on that side. First, I want to see if you have the rhythm down, which one is great. On your next time, I will be standing over there to see if your straightness is an issue. Okay? The rhythm you started was undervalued. Once you had a rhythm, your horse had no problem covering the ground here. Yeah? Same for you. Little squeaky. He's going to teach you a thing or two. Same for you. Have a little bit more stride in front of you. Okay, stride was good. Straightness was a little bit of an issue here. Now we were stepping on the other side, but what I was able to see is the way you approached your first one is you still had a shape in the horse when you got here. Like you still had a little bit of a kink in your horse. And that's when he jumped in here, then he stepped onto this one, and then he finished out of here. Yeah? Gonna be over there now, we're gonna do the same exercise. The ideal one is that all feet stay in the triangles, okay? Rhythm is good. Start with a good rhythm. You want to have a good rhythm before you do your first turn. You never want to work on your rhythm after the turn, okay? There, that's how you start. And now you just keep your upper body tall. And once you get there, now you were off distance and you turned a little bit early again as well, huh? You're almost riding into this exercise like it's already the jump-off course. More outside stirrup, let him shape a little bit more to the outside. And then once you're straight, that's when you close your outside leg, outside hand, and then put all four of them together to push him into straightness, okay? Question about that one? Okay. Okay, Squeaky. Be confident in your canter. There you go. Now step into your outside stirrup, outside stirrup, outside stirrup, outside stirrup, and now straight. Beautiful. Good pony. Nicely done. Give him a good peg. Gotta have that outside stirrup. Don't let him motorbike around it. Huh? You want to have them square taking off on the first side. I like the rhythm. Outside stirrup, outside stirrup, outside stirrup. Still too much of a kink, huh? Do it one more time. You gotta stay further out. You're still cutting in a little bit there, and that's when his shape kind of pushes him to the outside of that middle part. Just remember, you move him around with your outside rein anyways. Outside stirrup, outside stirrup, outside, 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 and now go. Better. Okay, take a little breather. And then Helion, we're going to turn it around. We're going to come off the left. And then what I want you to do, I want your approach to be here around that cross rail. Going into these two. Turn to the right and come into these two. Yeah? Why are you smiling? I made it harder. Why? I just put two together. Okay. You don't want to see what I have in store for tomorrow. There, now you have a really good rhythm. That is the rhythm you want to stick with. That is a good one. Good. Only 1 foot out of the triangle. Keep it moving. Outside stirrup there. And now straightness. Leg for straightness. Leg for straightness. Same foot out of the triangle. Okay, give him a big peck. Woo! Now the motor is coming. Very good. You're almost there. What happens with the feet that are going out this time wasn't an issue of straightness. He was straight through that exercise. The issue that you had is right here is this takeoff. If this would be a 90 centimeter jump, you would be chest deep on your takeoff, right? So being too close to this rail will automatically get you way too close to this one. So if now here is where your horse's stride ends up, he knows that there's no room for him to put 4 feet into this little triangle. So what he does is like he just opens up and says, okay, I'm just going to put this one here. What you're trying to achieve with a better distance is having this rail right in the middle of his stride. So when he gets here, here is his takeoff, and here is his landing, because then he has all this room to put 4 feet, and then just move straight through that side. Yeah? I don't have a magic recipe for finding distances. For at home, what you can do is put almost like a rail 4 strides out, and then just teach yourself that that rail is going to help you to at least have the last 4 perfect. Yeah? Okay. Stewie's reffing up for the jump off now. He's like, I've seen stadiums like this. Get there nice and straight. Both hands, both legs. Both hands, both legs. Both hands, both legs. Beautiful. Nicely done. Keep that rhythm, but now it's off the right, so stay in your outside straightness. Almost. You were a little bit late on the straightness part. This is his front foot right here. That indicates that you're a little bit too weak on your left leg and outside rein to really move him into straightness. Yeah? Right-handed. There you go. Okay, little muffin. That was really, really good. I'm so proud of you. I think with like a little bit of that confidence issues that he has, just with this active, being self-confident as the rider, forward riding up to it, staying out of his way, not micromanaging him, but staying right there and moving nicely up to that stride. I think this is what gets him to the point where he's like, okay, I'm a little bit more in charge myself. Yeah? You have any questions? You got any questions? You guys have any questions up here? For big horses, they're 12-foot poles. if you're kind of going into that really like 15-1-ish horse and ponies, you want to go to like 8 or 10-foot poles. But the 12-foot poles, the way they're set, this is the same kind of distance and setup that you would have in a combination. So it kind of teaches you, if your horse can manage perfectly forward and straight through that exercise, that is the same rhythm that should carry you throughout your course. Yeah? Perfect. Any more questions? Yes? So, a lot of that also can be counted. So the question was if Stewie's rider should have his leg, her leg, a little bit more underneath her. So, a lot of leg position can be saddle related. This one looks like it's not. I'm afraid. The leg position definitely should always be under the hip, just for balancing reasons. So if it's a little bit here, then yes, I agree, it's too far forward. Stewie, just do me a favor. Pick up the canter, come off the left, do one more time over that cross rail. Just remember, keep your rhythm and stay nice on your inside hand. No, I really like the leg position where it is. Very good. So what I would like you guys to do is after every exercise, after every course, nicely loose on a loose rein, trot out your horses, because now we just started collecting them. We're putting all the muscles into tension, finishing off every exercise, every course. You see guys like they go out of that international ring, they go into the warm-up ring on a loose rein and just trot him out, right? I want you guys to do the same thing. Let him nice and loose trot out, stretch all these muscles after we just put him all together, so you don't just put him tensely back into the stall, okay? I don't know what you guys are doing now, but at 2:30 there's going to be the horsemanship panel in the covered arena on the main stage. We have a dressage rider, we have an eventer, we have a jumper rider, and we have a cowboy. And the four of us are going to talk about the importance of horsemanship and the necessity of having real horsemanship in your daily riding, no matter what discipline it is. Scheduled to start at 2:30 in the main arena at the main stage. If there's no questions anymore, I would like to thank you. Oh, we have one more. So the question is, when we're talking about lengthening and shortening, and what I said about leaning back into your seat, the question is, when the hands go down on the withers, if that literally means no connection and just throwing it away, you're going to be Pat Pirelli if that is what you can do. If you're that good, you're going to be like Pat Pirelli. But what I mean is still have a soft connection, but lean with your body. But keep that connection. Like, it's not that you're throwing everything away, because you want your horse to lift the shoulder by moving back. So you still have that connection, but you never bring that connection towards you. The connection stays here, and it only changes by moving your upper body back. Yeah? Any more questions? Yes? Okay. So the question is if there's any tips on, yeah, just say that again. Yeah. Yeah. So what you definitely want to do, so is your horse naturally just running very fast? Try to maintain that connection. You're looking for like a relaxed arched horse, correct? So what you're trying to do is you want to have that hand connection soft on that horse that runs there. And what you're trying to do is, if you have a horse that is really hard underneath here and really likes to stay up there, you want to do that with a soft rein on circles first. Because once you open that rein and your horse then starts slowly giving in, then you just have to give. You have to reward your horse by just releasing that inside tension, that they say like, oh, okay, once I'm here, the release is their reward. Yeah? And then you change directions on other circles. So it's always easy on a horse that is very stubborn and very strong here, like getting them into a nice arch and riding them from the leg into hand. The first initial breakdown is basically like a little bit on a circle, let him work around your leg, and they're more inclined to give on a bending line than trying to force them on a straight line. Yeah? Try to do that on circles first with that nice open hand, and just let him swing around your leg a little bit, and as soon as they drop, the most important part is then to release the inside tension. If you don't do that, they feel like, okay, I did this, but there's no reward in it, then why would I do it the next time? Yeah? Always when you, and even if they just give you a small inch, there needs to be the instant reward. Yeah? Awesome. Okay, I have to head over to that panel now. I hope I'll see you guys over there. And other than that, there's one more session this afternoon, and then we have the course jumping session tomorrow. Good job, Julian.